Tony Khan defends AEW sexual harassment policy amend social media allegations against Chris Jericho. Bitch, does this not make Chris Jericho look like a total and complete fool? After he done came online talking about he ain't never followed no employee handbook, bitch. And he ain't never followed no policies, and then you have your own company coming behind you saying, excuse me, bitch, you won't make us look stupid. We do have an employee handbook, and we definitely do have a sexual harassment policy in place. Bitch, your own company don't even have your back on this one. At the end of the day, I really think that people are trying to save face, but let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? During his post-press conference following AEW's World End pay-per-view on Saturday, the wrestling promotion's owner and president Tony Khan was asked about allegations of sexual harassment that had been made against one of the company's top superstars on social media. While Khan didn't address the allegations directly, he did defend AEW's policy regarding such matters. It's something we're very serious about, he said. We've had a policy in place, and I certainly think anytime there's anything like that, we would make sure we do everything we can to prevent like that, Khan said. Anyway, that just seemed like kind of like whatever. I think he's saving face because Kylie Rae's very reason for quitting back then could have been because she was facing some things behind the scenes she possibly couldn't come out with, at the time, which made the transition so easy. Tony Khan could have definitely known something was going on back in the day to say, hey, yeah, we'll go ahead and grant you your release, girl. We don't want you running your mouth around here. We don't want you, coming out the woodwork with these Chris Jericho allegations. And too secretly, he could have always known Chris Jericho's actions or Chris Jericho's habits from back then. I mean, Chris Jericho did help start the company. They definitely were together, and I would assume that they had partied together as well. But anyway, at the end of the day, I do think Tony Khan do know a little bit more than what he's letting on. But bitch, he got a company to save. Hello. He is could possibly be in the same shoes as Vince McMahon minus the hush money. No shade, no tea. I just think it's really telling as well. It just goes to show that if this Chris Jericho thing is investigated and a little more digging is done, okay, that we definitely could find some things out that we could possibly not be all that proud about when it comes to our beloved Le Champion. It's giving standard company practices, okay? No matter if you're working at a McDonald's or a Fortune 500 company, you're still gonna have an employee handbook, and you're still gonna have guidelines and things in that handbook pertaining to how to interact with your employees, with your peers, okay, with people in general while in the workplace and in the workspace, especially sexual harassment and different forms of harassment. And it's pretty much giving a standard employee policy, employee handbook, AEW All Elite Wrestling talent playbook, policies, and procedures. Okay, you're gonna get this handbook regardless of if you're a hour employee or contracted 1099. It really don't matter, and it lists everything from the different types of harassment, whether they be verbal, physical, visual. Okay, it lists things about consent, things being unwanted, stares at the body, unwanted touching, conduct, making threats, making verbal remarks. The whole kit and caboodle. It's pretty much standard. Every company has to have one of these in place before they can actually, go public and call themselves a company. You kind of have to have this structured. And don't get me wrong now, just because that there is a sexual harassment handbook and or talent policy handbook in place, that doesn't necessarily mean that rules can't be broken, because WWE, I'm assuming, had one of these, and Vince himself allegedly broke the structure of that policy and broke those rules and procedures. So just to say they have one in place don't mean that nothing won't happen, but it does say that we have one of these in place, and because you did something to go against this, bitch, you broke the rules, bitch. Should you work here anymore? Should you be employed by us anymore? Should we contract with you anymore? We do have a handbook in place. We do have policies and procedures in place, and you went against them. What do we do now? Okay, period. Point blank. And I really do think that AEW need to quickly hurry up and address this, just to let the public know, the wrestler fans know, the viewers know what is going on with the company and where they stand when it comes to Chris Jericho's allegations. Just like WWE did with Velveteen Dream, I'm going to keep on bringing him up. I'm going to keep on comparing and contrasting these two incidents because, like I said, it's rules for thee and none for me when it comes to this particular situation. This type of thing definitely happens. Sex, drugs, rock and roll. Chris Jericho is the Judas in our minds, bitch. I just want to read this quick statement that somebody left on Reddit 3 days ago that to me makes sense. I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you guys. It says, it's absolutely harassment if he got a co-worker alone in a room with him under false pretenses so he could hit on her. You want to flirt with her? Fine. Do it off the clock or invite her to go out for drinks or something on your way out of work that day. We don't know the details. It's all speculation at this point, but acting like it's okay to behave in this manner is effed up. No shade, no tea. It's a fine line between that. And that's why I say, like, either he is going to grab his nuts and step up and speak about this and give us the truth about what happened, or he going to go and contact a lawyer or get somebody to speak for him to let us know what the deal is, or he's going to hit her ass with defamation of character because he really didn't do this, and or the victim, sadly, I say this again, I know this could be hard for them, but the victim needs to come out 100-fold, bitch, telling their truth, hitting us with all types of evidence, letting us know what happened play by play, and calling the people out to go ahead and put the nail in the coffin. Because clearly something happened. Clearly she's no longer with the company, and we really don't know the reasons why she left. Her exit was easily granted. Okay, and then Chris Jericho go off to be the motherfucking Judas in our mind, like I said, with nothing else ever brought back up until here recently. AEW definitely has a talent playbook, employee procedures and policies, bitch. And for me, this just goes to show that AEW don't have Chris Jericho back. And some more things is going down behind the scenes. And as time go on here soon, some stuff is going to come out. It's got to. Especially if people are digging how they digging on Twitter. More shit is definitely going to come out about this whole thing. Unless Fozzy is just going to pay some people to shut up. Which we know he could possibly do because he got the coin. And clearly he got the influence if people is up here taking up for him. Way more influence than Velveteen Dream got. Way more coin than Velveteen Dream got. That's enough of my rant and ramble. Definitely let me know what you think about this whole conversation. The allegations, the speculation. Bitch. Chris Jericho, the Judas in my edges. I'm going to say it again. The Judas in my edges.